And welcome, Mindsetters. I hope you had a nice little break there. You went to do whatever you had to do. You went to the bathroom. You went to whatever. You went to go get juice. But make sure that you're back ready with your pens and pads out and ready to make notes. And again, Mindsetters, I want to stress again, make sure that you tell a friend to make sure that they tell a friend. Because right now we're on 16,000 people on the page and we're trying to get to 20. So we can't get there without your help. But on that note, I'm going to hand over to Lou, who's going to continue the show. Take it away.
Thanks, Star. I had a look. A lot of you have got it right. The first question I asked you was, how do those cells eat? And the answers I got was phagocytosis. I am so impressed. Phagocytosis is the exact way that these guys eat. They engulf their prey, right? They engulf it and they spit it out. Very nice. Now, I had a look. Nobody has come back to me and told me what this is, right? Ta, still nobody?
No, not yet.
Okay, so let me get there. This is a chondrocyte cell, right? This little thing here, flagella, remember it moves and it makes the flow of water so we can get more water in, right? And now this thing, that's cool, okay? That is this. Always a nice way to remember it. Ta, can you tell me what this is?
Color.
That's it.
Someone
Yeah,
did
did
get
somebody
it.
give it?
Princess, yes. Princess got
Princess,
it. It's called a collar.
congratulations. It's a collar. Now, what that does is that forces the food into there so that you can move the food all the way into the mesoderm. And what does the mesoderm do? It has these cells that go through phagocytosis to get all the food that it needs, and we sorted. I was impressed. Very nice. Very, very nice. So that's what these things do. This whole thing, right, is a conocyte. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, now, the next one we're going to have a look at. Oh, wait, we need to first check it. It's an acelomate. Sorry, I forgot about this. It's the acelomate. An acelomate, remember, does not have a coelom. A before anything means it does not. Right. Asymmetrical, it is not symmetrical. Acelomate, it does not have a coelom. Right? Very nice. Okay. It is a filter feeder. Okay. It filters out all the things in the ocean and it eats that. Not very difficult. That's what it eats. Remember I said to you, the pores open into the spongiocele. There we go. Okay. I know I've seen some of the guys asking what it is. Now, the middle of it, exactly what it is. Remember this middle part of a sponge that we just had a look at, this piece here. Okay. There it is. Spongiocele. Very good. So you guys have been working quite nicely. You've been working very hard. I can see you've been studying, which means you're paying attention in class. It's the best thing in the world, right? Then I mentioned, right, your flagella, which move, that make water move so that we can actually get water in. Okay, there's your chondrocytes, move water around. I mentioned that big word. Well, of course, the main man, it is the collar. The collar catches the food particles. Okay, that catches the food particles, passes it down. The food gets ingested by phagocytosis. Very nice. And then water leaves through the osculum. Okay, just by going through the picture, I could tell you everything, right? That's what you need to be able to do when it comes to this. Okay, that is what's so special about these things. It's not very difficult. The words are difficult, yes, I'll give you that. But this is not very difficult. Okay, you just keep on going like this and you will get it right. Okay, now this is the body plan of the sponge. Okay, the next one we're going to have a look at, hopefully this is the next one. Yeah, Cnidaria. Okay, now Cnidaria, this is the next level. Now remember, we're going to start off from small and we're going to increase all the time. So we're getting to more complex and more complex animals all the time, right? So your Cnidaria, there it is mostly aquatic. Okay, it's mostly aquatic. It's mostly marine. Sorry, not mostly aquatic. Mostly marine, which means it's in the sea. Okay, so we find them in the sea, right? You get the sedimentary, which means stationary. It doesn't move, it stands still. And those things are called, there it is, your anemones. Okay, you know Finding Nemo. Remember in the beginning of the show, you had this fish, the father, I don't know what his name was, but in Finding Nemo. But
no one actually knows the father's name.
Jeez, I must remember that. Father's name, well, Nemo's daddy and the wife was in the sea anemones, right? They are this type that we're working with, Cnidaria. Okay, what they do, sorry, is they stand still and they get their food just by standing still, right? The other ones that move, swimming, is your jellyfish. Those nice, fluffy, beautiful, stunning jelly things, right? They're not that stunning when they sting you, let me warn you. Okay, what? They're the most of them can do both. Okay, they can do both. Now, if we have a look at it, the body plan, okay, it's an acoelomate, which means it doesn't have a coelom. So we're starting to get into the rhythm of this. I'm impressed. Okay, polyp. You've got to remember this one, and medusa. Now, I'm going to show you where they come from, right? This is where the mouthpiece is. If you have a look at it, have radial symmetry. First of all, there's symmetry, and they have their mouthpieces there, okay? They radial symmetry. So if I move this down, just want to move it down to there. Have a look at this, right? You can do it in any way. I know that it does like this, because if I turn that, that's like at a side angle. If we turn it like this, you will get this round circle, and you can move it across like that. And of course, this one, if I wanted to, let me do that, yeah. If I wanted to do that one, it would look something like that. If I look at the top, there we go. That's what these things look like, okay? That's what they look like. And in the front, they would have these funny little squiggly things that look like a flower, right? There we go. So if you had a look at it, did I draw enough? No, I drew way too little. Okay, I must always remember that. Comes down, one up, one more down. Now what that means is I can cut it down there, I can cut it down there, I can cut it any way I want. Okay, there's normally 6 to 8 of those tentacles, but we'll speak about them now, right? So if I have a look at again, right, there they are. They can be cut in every direction, right? They are radial symmetrical, which means all around. Okay, cool. They are diploblastic, which means they have an outer layer and an inner layer, right? Okay, same thing. These are all things that you are getting used to, right? And it's a jelly-like liquid in between it again, the same as the sponges, okay? But now we're going to start getting more complex, right? So all we know now, right, is we have the ones that are stationary, right, and the ones that can swim. Right? We know that they diploblastic. They do not have a coelom, right? Okay, and I can tell you now, it's still early, so we don't have a gut. We don't have a through gut. Okay, let's see how it goes from here. They have a single digestive opening. Okay, remember I showed you that diagram at the back over here, this one. There it is. Single opening. Food comes in, food goes out. There we go. Okay. They have a single opening, which means they do not have a through gut. And that opening, if we're having a look at the polyp, it'll normally be by the polyp, right? Or if we're having a look at the medusa, it's underneath the medusa. The medusa would be your jellyfish. You know your jellyfish is like that. It would come in. There would be your mouthpiece. I'm just going to do that. And it's over there. And there we go. And then you've got the tentacles coming down. Right? That would be your jellyfish. Oh, that's terrible over there. Right? That is your jellyfish. And then you've got your other one, which I drew up here. There it is. Okay. This one can come in. It's at the top of it. Right? See? There are the two. Okay, that is your polyp, that is your medusa. Okay, very nice. Okay, now they're normally surrounded by 6 to 8 tentacles. Remember the 10 tentacles are over here. This is a tentacle. Remember if I showed you like that? You got that thing that looks like a flower. Those are the tentacles, right? And the tentacles are very important because they help it feed. They actually catch the prey. They see where it's dangerous. They have a look at anything like that, right? Now, before we have a look at how in detail we can go with the tentacles, we have to look at what's just inside the mouth, right? There's this bag of gas, right? There it is, okay? Gastrovascular cavity, right? It's your coelenteron. It's not a coelom, it's a coelenteron. Another big word, okay? Remember, a coelom is a fluid-filled cavity. This one has got gas. See the gas there? It's got a gas inside it, okay? Now, that there is just behind the mouth part, just behind the mouth part, okay? We're not looking at why it's there or what it does there. You just have to remember that you get your coelenteron, that is a gas bag that's just behind the mouthpiece. Okay, now the coelenteron acts as a hydroskeleton. Okay, a hydroskeleton, that is a big word to look at. If I have a look at a hydroskeleton, if I have pressure in a balloon, you know this balloon. If I had a balloon and I made it out of thick rubber, right? And I put it on top of a car, well, underneath the car, right? And I blew this thing up. Jumping castle is a good way of looking at it. But as you blow it up, do you feel how hard it becomes? Okay, now that is an air-filled cavity, which makes it nice and hard. Now what they do, okay, they throw water in there, and if there's water in there, it becomes a little bit more harder. I mean, throwing a water balloon is so much easier than throwing a normal balloon. Am I right, Ta?
Definitely, because it actually has weight instead of just flying away.
Exactly. And it's got this buoyancy, and it feels like there's something in there, right? That there is the water, and they use that as a skeleton. You know, like we have our bones on the inside, they have water. That water gives them that pop-out feeling and that nice and strong feeling. That is called your hydroskeleton. There it is, hydroskeleton. Okay, now that bag, what it actually do is it fills up and it actually pushes the water, right, to make it nice and strong and hard. Okay, so that is the hydroskeleton, okay, and let's look at it. The ectodermal, there it is, the ectodermal cells digest, the endodermal cells digest food, and the ectodermal cells detect food or danger. Okay, so they've got these funny little things sticking out like this, right? Those 10 tentacles, and if you go near them, it's going to come in, or if it's got food, it's going to catch the fish and bring the fish into the hole, right? So it can be eaten. So that's what these tentacles are like, these tentacles, the exodermal cells, and the endodermal cells digest food, plain and simple. Now what I've done is I've explained what these cells are first, and now I'm going to start giving you the name, okay? The first name, let me bring it up here so we can actually have a look at it. Okay, there is the first name, nido cells. Okay, they are used for defense and for capturing prey. That ectodermal cells that bring everything into that hole, so it catches the stuff and it brings it in. There's it, write it down, do what you need, because it's an important word. Okay, you must be able to label it. Very, very important. The next one is your nematocytes. Okay. The nematocytes, sorry, I'm getting there. The nematocytes, they are stinging cells. Now, the stinging cells, they're on the tip. Now, what that actually does is it actually paralyzes prey, or it does something bad. Stinging is quite sore. I mean, you think of, it stings. If you've ever been stung by a blue bottle, if you've ever been stung by a jellyfish, right? It stings. Trust me. I know, I was stung, my son has been stung, my wife has been stung, right? It stings a hell of a lot, okay? So that stinging comes from these specific cells, and they are on the tips. Now, if you look at, it was also Finding Nemo, where they went through those huge things of jellyfish, right? And poor little Dory got attacked by them. Can you remember that?
Yes.
Dory gets stung and she passes out. The clownfish didn't, though. Now, that's what those things do. What it does is it stings them, so they don't know where they are, they're disorientated, they pass out, and then they pick them up and they swallow them. Quite terrible, I think.
It sounds
Stung to death. Stung to death.
Doesn't sound like fun. Doesn't sound like a great weekend. No.
Not at all. I agree with you there totally. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is, before I carry on, because that is Nadera finish, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to a break, and then we're going to take it from there to the next one. Ta?
All right, so on that note, Mindsetters, while we're taking a little bit of a break, I'm going to make sure that I get all these posts up. There's a lot of diagrams, so it's some nice fun things for you guys to look at. But on that note, we're going to see you after this break.